Hi everyone, it's Athena and welcome back to my channel. Okay, in meditation, I channeled Whitney Houston, and the song that came to my mind's eye is Run to You from The Bodyguard. And I'm so glad that she came into my meditation because what a beautiful soul. What a hard life. So, such a gifted woman who lost her way, yet her soul, her heart's soul, remained the same always. I think even after all of what she had been through, we witnessed a woman who was extremely, extremely beautiful on the inside out and got caught up, right? It's the story of getting caught up with the wrong people in the wrong places. And I'm truly not an advocate of, idolization of anyone. Although I've been known to idolize people for their artistic value which they bring to the table and their discipline. Because what artists do, which we all are, is putting your energy so much into your craft that you just soar. And this woman soared with all of her heart and soul. So let's say God bless Whitney and her daughter, right? Who knows? Maybe something's going on. I don't know. But it's what the song I heard. If I were you, if you're interested, I'm not going to tell you what to do, of course. But if I were you, I would listen to those lyrics. They're absolutely beautiful. They brought me to tears before I'm doing this reading because she's just so an angel, She was so angelic. Okay. So that is the higher truth. The highest truth of all is when we reach the pinnacle of our craft. We get to the top of Mount Everest. And I'm using that as, of course, a metaphor. Which is it's not easy to get there. It's hard. It's hard to climb the highest peak in whatever craft and or profession and or spiritual attainment that we seek. It is a lifelong journey of surrender and then attainment, surrender, attainment, back and forth. That is the infinity. Because we achieve Mount Everest only to find we have many more lessons on path. It's infinite, actually, right? Whether we are here on the earth plane, learning the hard lessons through our experiences, which we're here to do, or whether we have attained and we are ready to soar. And some leave the earth plane when it's their time, of course. They fly like an eagle. Then they have achieved the next dimension level of universal consciousness that they have attained while here. This could be a father on the other side who is saying, keep going. You're almost there. A grandfather, father figure, doesn't have to be literally a father. It could obviously, and it is, our Heavenly Father who is saying, keep going. You're almost there. You're at the 9. You're almost to this next attainment of achievement, of awareness, of consciousness, right? We're all on spiritual paths here. So that's what we're doing. We're climbing the same mountain. Don't get discouraged by what it is you can't achieve right now. Don't get too emotional with and or in your, like this is emotional and physical wear and tear on the body, but it's all for the cause. Someone's really close to achieving a new leveling up. They're just not there yet. They try to preoccupy themselves with other things in order to avoid the pain. So it could be an Aries here, but let's just keep it going. Okay? Someone's emotionally and physically exhausted, but knows that that the peak is where they're headed. So, and Spirit is saying, in addition to that, Spirit's saying, come on, don't give up. Don't give up now. You're almost there. Wow. It is an Aries, Leo, Sag, for sure. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up this. Because you're right there. You've almost completed a very significant level through the experiences that you've gone through in your life. And look here we are. Here it is. The cycle is getting ready to start anew. So don't give up now. Don't jump ship here. Seriously. That's why, right? That's why we become discontent. The divine discontent that we feel emotionally and physically, what we go through, be that may the lessons, the dark night of the soul. These things are not easy to even talk about. Kundalini awakening, it all sounds like intriguing at first until you actually experience. And you get literally, when you're so close, you're on your knees with incomplete surrender for sure. So I'm inclined to say that this reading doesn't really matter, but it's starting from here to there. Because there's the attainment, the achievement of the new once this wheel gets ready to turn into a new phase, because someone has literally attained and graduated from one parallel to another paradigm shift. And they're really close to finishing. Here's the 10. Here's the completion. So it could have just happened, right? The 10th of February. Or it's within the full moon, the next full moon, by the next full moon, right? Because we're witnessing the new moon today, the 11th of February, 2021. When you break down all of the numbers today, February being 2, so that's 1-1, 11 being 1-1, and 2021 is 1-1-1-1-1. So that's 5, and 10, 15. So the next 2 weeks. Why do I say that? Because I felt it in my heart that within the next 2 weeks to a month, well, 2 to 4 weeks, right? This King of Wands is leveling up to a new paradise, is shifting to a new paradise shift. And yeah, they told me no more, and look at the bottom. So here it is. I did not see it until I heard no more, and then I saw it. I got a glimpse of the spiritual path that someone's on, for sure. Beautiful. After going through something really scary, dark night of the soul, and Kundalini awakening, the symptoms and stuff like that, all will be in my book. So you will get to read everything about the experience as I have gone through and still am going through, because it's never ending. So we have left the shadow of fear and the unknown to having more faith and getting to Mount Everest as that wheel turns, the attainment of finally achieving a level that I think that one didn't think it was going to actually happen, which is the goodness, right? It's the goodness. It's not still in the unknown. It's soaring to great new heights through one's, through one's experiences of loss. It is the divine discontent where we learn the greatest lessons. And we do have a choice, you know that, because we have a choice. Do we fear or do we allow? And this reading is the divine discontent has taken place down here in order to allow and attain the achievement of working on oneself. Someone went through literally the dark night of the soul, faced their fears head on. And it was really hard. It was very difficult. And brought someone to their knees of surrendering. We use that term a lot, but when your knees are aching and you're on the ground, it's a lot. I almost lost my voice. So there was a stagnant period of time between this actually, and getting to that point, getting to this, to the point of higher truth and knowledge, right? So that's how we got here. And then we have a queen, interesting. We have a Queen of Swords and a Queen of Cups. So we have Aries, Leo, Sag, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sag, and Taurus. it could be all three going through the thread is all three of them are going through the divine discontent of not knowing, right, what's going to come next. So stalemate through this, because see, they didn't really know how they were going to drop. So here, let me just keep going. Here it is. It's like the call came in because there's true love here. Wow, we could just keep going. Here's the full moon. All right, so the next full moon, or the full moon that just passed, caused someone to really, literally experience the dark night of the soul. The realization of what is stronger than fear is love. So you have to go through it. You can't avoid it. When universe, God calls, it's your time, right? It's not your time to be judged. It's your time to surrender to what you think and feel things are going to play out, how they're going to play out. You have to give up the fight, and that's what one has done, and get into, which you don't have a choice, into a not knowing. And by not knowing, you suddenly start breaking free from all of the wounds of one's past. But it's not it's not an overnight sensation. It's not. It's actually very tumultuous as we go back and forth, back and forth. 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Seriously. And then, and then you get literally down here where you're exhausted by the back and forth of what you're going through emotionally and physically. It's physically draining, So these people might have all gone through it together, or they could be siblings, it could clearly be the divine discontent of, who holds my heart? Who is it that holds my heart here? It could be someone trying to make that decision as well, and going through at the same time, which is part of the learning process of going through the unknown. It's getting through the unknown and letting it go. Stalemate, right? Someone is just at a stalemate. Someone also had to make a decision and doesn't want to make a decision. So, Spirit probably came in and did that, or is coming in to do that. Make the decision for someone, which those decisions are all spiritual based, and one has a choice to look at it and deal either through fear or through love. These experiences are part of what we call the dark night of the soul, because one grows through loss, through the unknown, right? In the darkness, then there is light. So it's all encompassing as one grows through this experience. The Father is here. The Blessed Father is here. Our beloved is right here, saying, don't give up now. You're so close. You're close to attaining a level of understanding, which is the higher consciousness of letting go of what is known as your ego. And it just doesn't go away like that. I just have to really be very clear about that. It takes sometimes lifetimes. It takes years, lifetimes, decades. Depends on, it's a process that's always there, but it comes in different experiences that we go through in life. Do you understand? Some go through the dark night of the soul. Everyone goes through the dark night of the soul and the Kundalini rising, hence thereafter or during, depends on what, it's like every pregnancy is different, okay? So in order for someone to have the enlightenment of a new shifting of awareness, that someone is going through this either through a relationship loss, the fear of losing one, the fear of not having either, the fear and the discontent of how's it going to work out, what's it going to look like. Someone has experienced, right? Truly, it's like the last straw, right? It's like when you think you can't handle anymore, that's when you cross that bridge. It's like the 11th hour, right? It's like the 11th hour when we finally surrender and say to ourselves, it'll never happen. It won't happen, right? Maybe it's just not meant to be. I'm not looking for love. I'm not looking for anything. And that's when it happens. And that's when it hits someone, right? So when you're in the darkness, be it because of a relationship, be it because of, a career issue of whatever, however it transforms into your life. Dark night of the soul comes through the loss of the most traumatic losses, the wounds of the past that one continues to ride through every time, patterns forming, right? We know this. And then finally, in the 11th hour, someone says, I made it. I got it. How did you get it? Through your heart's truth. You now understand that you can't control it. You're not in charge of your own life. Spirit is. And when this wheel happens, and when all the pieces of the puzzle come together, and Spirit, God realizes that you have literally detached from any outcome whatsoever, and you are not trying to control the terrain and not fearful of it, and in acceptance, then the wheel turns and you're like, oh my God, I get it. And then it happens all over again with different situations, not necessarily the dark night of the soul to that extreme. It really does depend on the circumstances, and each individual is different. Someone's song, or someone is singing the song that beautiful woman sang, Whitney Houston, known as Whitney Houston on the earth plane. Her soul has soared, as you can see. and someone is feeling, I want to run to you, right? And has been through like everything, has been through it all, and feels like, wasn't going to come out in one piece. Usually you don't feel like you're going to make it. Truly, you don't. All right, let's look at, I'm going to take the Threads of Fate Oracle and see what it says, and the Starseed Oracle. And I do that because of the darkness and the light. And that's actually another reason why I decided these cards would be ideal for that reason. One card from each. Oh gosh. Okay, let's just do one card for each. Creativity helps one get out of the darkness. To get creative means not to avoid the circumstances here, but to use the creativity of that which is God-given, which is right here, as Whitney Houston did on the earth plane. She's probably singing now with the angels, because she definitely was a beautiful spirit and angel. So I want to run to you is also, she was asking to be saved in so many ways. In many of her songs, if you listen closely to the words, it wasn't just about another person. It was the attainment of making it to the other side. It was a plea for help also. This is 3D. Like I'm incorporating, I am trying to show you how I'm incorporating 3D to 5D. Okay? So, I want to run to you means very much so the pain and suffering that she has gone through, or did go through, it was just too much for one's body. And typically that's what happens is when we're close, our emotional and physical body give way. And the last portion of the surrender to a new dimension, meaning your body, your vessel. This could also be telling her story. She's telling her story, right? Of how her vessel left her body and she soared. And the last is the will, which is the sword. The will to live. And that was the last climb that she had to take. Okay? So we look at it as that. Right? I kind of see this as Bobby Brown. I don't know why. I do. And I also see this as either her and her daughter and him, or I kind of feel that. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay? I don't know why she came into I'm glad she did. I haven't actually thought about her in a while, but she did. Her soul definitely is singing with the angels in heaven. And that doesn't mean that you have to like someone, right? Let me be clear about that. When I post or when we talk about things on this channel that I channel through spirit, that those spirits that come to me, those are messages of the goodness in one's soul. Not to be, whether they're on the other side or they're on the 3D plane, let it be known that everyone comes with the same toolbox of treasures that lie within. So we may not like, or we may think we don't like, from the things that we've heard from them or society or whatever stories that have been told about someone. There were many stories about Whitney. But why should that matter? If anything, like this reading will tie into what we talked about yesterday. Find compassion and love for another. Find the compassion and love, and forget about judging someone just by what you hear and or see. Find it in your heart. How do you feel? Can you imagine what someone's pain is like and why they did the things that they did? Obviously put yourself in their shoes, but we can't. Sometimes we can't. And it's not fair to judge just based upon what you hear, because you're not in it. I have no idea. But what I do admire about the people that I channel and or the people that I admire for their God-given talent and discipline, I admire that. It's their creativity that made them who they are. Hence, that is what we're here to do. That's what this message is. Get creative. What is your God-given talent? What are you and how are you serving? She did her part. What are you doing? Okay, one card from the Starseed Oracle. I'm taking two. I felt it. Watch your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. So obviously, it is true that this person or people are needing to get a lot more rest than they have been. This is truly a body that is truly a body that needs some nourishment, maybe better food, more sleep, rest, recuperation, In the middle of everything that we go through, we sometimes forget about our emotional and physical bodies because we're going through so much, So drinking more water, taking Epsom salt baths, being out in Mother Earth, pink tourmaline. I just heard we should, something pink. Greens is healing, and pink is the love that comes with the healing. So that's what that means. Pretty much, and the weight of the world. And that's exactly what someone's going through. So you have a choice. And you can see this is masculine and feminine here. So masculine and feminine, as we have the King of Wands and we have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. We have people, these souls need healing, cleansing, and going with the flow. This is going with the flow. Allowing. So I will close, because this is getting really long. I will close with, when we are in the shadow part of ourselves, when we are in the shadow, when we are in the unknown, Spirit says, get creative when you're in the unknown. When you're going through the dark night of the soul, Don't listen to what your mind's saying. Get creative. What is it that you are, what is your purpose here? It is for all of us to serve in one way, shape, or form through using the inner treasures, inner toolbox of what lies within us. What have we been disciplined enough to attain Mount Everest? So when we're not sure of what our next move is, get creative. Be it music, art, writing, poetry, nature. What is your craft? That's in the time of, during the time of the unknown, darkness, okay? It makes much sense for when we start to create in the darkness, then the light appears. Then we see glimmers of hope. We see glimmers of healing, strength, fortitude, and allowing whatever that's to happen is not in your hands. It's in the hands of God. Have a great day.